Lev, guess who's back?
Be an American.
Don't wanna be an American idiot. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. You understand all the stereo.
It's like Green Day,
Gonna
right?
idiot. Good, Lev. Man, I'm loving what's going on here. What's up, buddy? It's good to be with you,
Not,
man.
not, I had an interesting day today. I had a kid throw a pencil at me today. So
Well, did he hit or did he miss?
oh, he hit me. I think I got it right in the head.
Mm.
Um, but so it was a good day. It was a good
Did
day.
did you deserve it?
No,
No. Okay.
I
Um,
got a classic. I'm sending a shout out to Matt Reagan. I sent him out. I said, "Hey, buddy, today's Fat Tuesday," and he said to me, "No, they just call it Tuesday now since Ozempic."
Ozempic.
Yeah,
That's funny. Ozempic
yeah,
Tuesday.
yeah. And then when I told him how many laughs I got with it, he said, "Remember to pay me my royalties on Wegovy Wednesday."
Jeez, man. Unbelievable.
And I needed
Unbelievable.
it. I needed the laughs today, so I thought it was hysterical. I like told this guy in the parking lot at the school and
You told
everything.
it. You told him about your story or humor?
You know, my humorous interjections.
Yeah, I love that, man. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
So
So
it was so you had to throw the kid threw a pencil and
at the head, and I
yeah.
was just like, I
Ha-
lost it, and I called the assistant principal because this like, no, you know
That's
what? It
probably a
wasn't.
better move than challenging him to a fight.
No, I don't do that stuff anymore. I'm like, I wish I could record them like on my phone, like talking, like
Yeah,
all day, like cursing all day. It's unbelievable. For those of you who do have children, God bless you.
that's right. That's right.
I take it in as like an outsider without kids. I just love like I wrote like notes in my journal, like social critique notes about our future as a society. Um, if you ever want to read my journal, I find it very interesting. So God bless you.
God bless you is right, Lev. Where's your journal? Is it posted online? I'm gonna say
Uh,
no based
it's in
on
my
what I know about you.
it's in my backpack. It's in my backpack.
It's gonna be hard for people to read their journal unless they're mugging you.
Right, right, right.
Well, let's hope that that doesn't happen anytime soon. I'll tell you, I'm feeling a little run down myself here today. I did not get a pencil thrown to me, although my son is doing his homework right now, so it's still a possibility. Um, Feeling a little run down today, and this is when I feel run down. I feel like I'm fighting something off, although it could be allergies. My son's kind of doing the same thing, so I am taking. Do you ever use electrolytes? This is the one I recommend. Can you see it? SkyMD. If SkyMD, if anyone in this wonderful world is listening, SkyMD, please send us the endorsement check, or just send me free swag, free product, because I love the electrolytes, and you just dump it out, a little powder into your drink, and all of a sudden, Lev, your drink goes from C to A plus. No more
Oh,
Diet Cokes for you. You just get the electrolytes going, and that's how my skin's so beautiful, and I'm so
radiant.
energetic.
It's radiant. Hey, so our two names are uh, a lot of deaths in the world in the last 2 days. Robert Duvall died yesterday, 95. Great character actor, just a wonderful actor. Um, he obviously was in The Godfather.
I've
He
never
was
seen
King
it.
Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird, and I was actually talking to Matt about this. Did a movie called The Apostle in 1996 where he's really really good in that too. And of course, for sports fans, he did Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise.
Also, didn't I have not seen one of those movies that you mentioned. I saw parts of Days of Thunder,
Yeah,
but I
that's
haven't
right.
seen the
You've
whole
never
thing.
seen Godfather, have you?
Never seen Godfather. The most impressive thing about me, and I've said this a million times, the most impressive thing about me is the number of movies that I have not seen.
And that movie was made 1 year before we were, and he's amazing in it. Now, so he died, and then the saddest thing was Jesse Jackson.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
Give me another movie that maybe I would have seen with Robert Duvall.
All right. So he was in Jack Reacher.
Never heard it. Never saw it.
He was in the Tom Cruise Jack Reacher movie, which was, yeah,
That didn't register with me.
shit, man.
I
He
know
was in.
it's pathetic, dude. I know.
There was, so before Prince of Tides, there was a movie called The Great Santini where he like throws the basketball at his kid in the locker room.
I read the book, but I didn't see the
So
movie.
he played the dad,
Oh, okay, all right,
and
yeah.
and the,
I read the Great Santini.
and the guy from Caddyshack, the golfer, was his kid in the movie.
Didn't see Caddyshack.
Jesus, you didn't see Caddyshack,
No,
and
I mean I listen,
co-hosting a sports podcast, and you've never seen Caddyshack? Are
but
you shit?
that wasn't on the interview. They didn't ask me about whether I saw Caddyshack. Now I did see the famous candy bar scene in the in the pool. I love that scene, but
He's
I
not in. He's not doing the whole pool ballet scene where they're all doing that.
yep, didn't see
He's
it.
like, yeah. I mean, geez, you've not seen Caddyshack or Godfather.
I'm just going to call out the movies as you refer to a movie because you do it a lot because you love the cinema and I love that about you. I just don't see movies. I just don't. I never have. Even as a kid, I remember it was you and Eric Connor, and I was never like too much into the movies as much as
But
you
it's
guys
not.
were.
I saw a good movie. I saw that new Rachel McAdams movie where she's stranded on an island. It was really good. Uh,
Castaway?
Not Castaway, although it sounds like Castaway, but there's two people on the island. So I forget the name. I ran into McKinnon and Chase coming down the escalator as I was going up, and he had seen it too. So Richie the K, uh, he knows the movie. It was a good movie. If you get to see it on demand, it's Rachel McAdams. I forget what the title is.
Okay. All right. I miss Rich. I miss Train. I miss having our tag team partners. But Lev, I'm proud that Hamo and Jaimes and Jaimettes are carrying on today. And I know you wanted to turn it over. Just do a quick
Yeah,
uh, talking about the passings. You mentioned Richard
yeah.
Duvall. Let's keep moving. Who else?
Robert Duvall. So Reverend
I don't.
Jesse
Richard
Jackson.
Duvall also passed away. You don't know about him.
Reverend Jesse Jackson. He had a couple warts, but he had made a very controversial comment about New York City, which he called it Jaime Town, which was perceived to be an anti-Semitic comment. And he had done a couple other things in the past. I mean, I remember him taking a picture with Saddam Hussein in Iraq back in 1991 when he tried to get like some of the families released. But in his heart, he was a good leader, and did a lot for civil rights in this country. And actually, I believe, well, someone else ran for president, but he was really the first major African American to run for president in '84 and '88. So
Yep, I remember that. But yes, my name is an homage to that song, "Don't Let Me Down, Jaime Town," and in the lyrics, he said, "All you Jaimes and Jaimettes." It was
it
Eddie
was
Murphy. Eddie
on
Murphy,
Saturday Night Live, right? It was
yeah, playing Jesse Jackson, and he said catfish and gefilte fish. It was the funniest thing because you could say stuff without people being offended, and that was like the era that we grew up on with the Jeffersons and Archie Bunker, and
right.
even like Al Bundy. Like he like I feel like he was the last. I mean, The Simpsons still crossed that line, and I think that's great. But
Family Guy does a little bit, but
it's
it's
very subtle though. Family Guy is really well written.
and Cleveland is quite good. And then the final, probably less glamorous passing, obviously, is the passing of late great Doug Moe, who was for our NBA fans out there, passed away at 87. I learned a little bit about him today. He went to UNC, so he's part of that UNC tree, and I guess he was an ABA head coach before coming to the NBA, coaching the Denver Nuggets, and had the most wins in Nuggets history before the Malone passed him a couple years ago. But he was always a really funny dresser, and just generally a good coach of those teams. Remember Fat Lever they had, and they had I guess Kiki Vanderway was on that team,
Was
and
Adrian Dantley on that team?
no, Adrian was on the Utah Jazz, and
No,
then
but he was then traded. Don't you remember?
I don't remember that, but But remember that team? They went up and down the court, up and down the court, and
Yeah.
they were fast. And the person that actually did the information about his death was Bill Hanslick, I think, who was a player for the Nuggets
Yeah, I
back in
remember
the
Bill Hanslick. He had a sweet
day.
stash.
Yeah, yeah. So he passed, and of course he was your Philadelphia 76ers coach between in the 92-93 season. And we were talking back and forth today on I guess we were messaging, and that was really that atrocious Sixers team that had traded Charles Barkley the summer before. And so that team had Hersey Hawkins. It had Tim Perry. It had Jeff
Hmm.
Hornacek. It had a rookie by the name of Clarence Weatherspoon.
Spoon. That's right.
I don't know if
Uh,
Johnny Dawkins was on that team.
Gosh, Johnny Dawkins was such a good basketball player. I really love Johnny Dawkins, number 12. And then Gerald Henderson was on that team. Do you remember him?
I don't. Yeah. Well, I do
From
remember.
Duke. Come on, dude.
He was, and so I found out Ron Anderson was on that team, and Manute Bol was on that team
What
too.
what year was this? 93?
92, 93. He got fired in
Okay.
March. They were like 19 and 37, and Fred Carter was hired to replace him.
That's good Sixers knowledge. Wait, do you remember what did you say his record was?
19 and 37. I checked it
Correct.
out.
I was going to ask you how many total wins he had. Yes, and Fred Mad Dog Carter was his nickname, by the way. Do you remember also about that 76ers team? Was that the Sean Bradley was on that team?
He would have been 94. He came out
I thought
in
he
the
was drafted in
94, 94
93.
draft. 94 draft.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
Shaq. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to think who else was on that squad. 92. That
It was
was
pretty,
was the G-Man still on that team?
I don't think so. It was the remnants of that Barkley trade.
Right, right. Barkley,
It was
Mahorn, Thump, and
Perry,
Bum. Yeah.
Hornacek. Who else did they? Was Jeff Malone on that team?
Mm. No, but they traded for Jeff Malone um, at some point. I remember he did play for the Sixers, but it was at the very end of his career.
I think I remember going to a game with you. They played the Knicks that year at the Spectrum, and I remember seeing that 93 Knicks team. And the Knicks were, Pat Riley was coaching. You know, Doug was a classy guy. You know, him and Frank Layden are two that I will miss.
Oh, both those guys with their flashy dresses. And
Yeah.
you know who I was thinking about the other day? Good old Hubie Brown, man. That guy, he
He's,
just keeps on going. He is
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I
So
wonder if
we
he
were,
drinks electrolytes. What do you think?
yeah, he's great. And I mean, there's been if you look at it with the Sixers, um, since Billy Cunningham left in, I guess, the 85 season, with the 85, they've gone through coaches like every couple of years.
Yeah, they sure have. We named a bunch today, man. When you rattled off Chris Ford, I couldn't believe it. I thought Randy Ayers was great, but then you came back with Chris Ford, and I was like, that's a great.
And then Jack Ramsey's son-in-law was the coach. What was his name?
Jim O'Brien?
It was Jimbo, the other Jimbo.
Yeah. And then yeah, that's right. That's right. And then yeah, it's just been an atrocity and leading us to Nick Nurse. I'm still not sure if Nick Nurse is the answer. But we'll see. We're finding out. Second half, good to see. How about VJ Edgecombe named the
Yeah.
MVP of the Rising Stars game? That was pretty cool. Um,
A lot of people didn't. So a lot of people didn't even get a chance to watch any of the Olympics. I mean, of the All-Star game. They started the game so much early so that
yeah.
they didn't have to get rid of the Olympic primetime coverage. And
I
Milan,
didn't I didn't watch any of it. I turned it on. The dunk contest was over,
it
which
was like
sounds
at
like.
7 o'clock. The dunk contest was over.
Did you
Probably.
watch any of it?
No, I watched. It's interesting. I was in New York. I was at an Applebee's, and on NBA TV, they were replaying old All Star games, like in 5 minute bits. That
Hmm.
I enjoyed more watching that the '80s All Star games than I did anything of the contemporary. Like they had, you know, the '87 one where they
Yeah,
was in Seattle with Chambers. Tom Chambers won the All Star
yeah,
MVP, and then they had
yeah,
the '92 game where Magic came back from HIV and he had the great game. So I
yep.
enjoyed watching more of that. I actually enjoyed the old All Star games. I wish they would go back to the East West.
I do too. It was so much fun. And then AI when he won the MVP when they played in Philly, that was super cool. And just I remember the when Isaiah used to freeze out Jordan, and
Yeah,
Isaiah's still a little bitter,
really did.
little crybaby. Even now, he's still a crybaby. It's unbelievable.
Was
With
never on the
respect
dream team though. Thinks
with
he should have
respect
been
to
on the
Jordan.
dream team.
Well, he shouldn't have. And guess what? The Dream Team was the greatest collection of basketball players ever assembled, and they still won resoundingly. So what is Isaiah Thomas going to do for that team? Why did they need him?
Well, came down to him or Clyde.
Well, give me Clyde then. I love Clyde Drexler. He was Air Jordan before Jordan came along.
He was.
Um, yeah, I just said that. But yeah, but we're turning back into basketball. I mean, I was watching some dunk contests. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar used to be in the dunk contest. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, and I knew he could. They never let them dunk in college back then, so
Yeah,
I didn't know that he. I mean, I never saw. Well, that's not true. I saw him dunk, but always more with the sky hook.
yeah. But it was funny watching a 7-footer like try to do things, and it was just really funny. And then I was watching something super old school one night when I couldn't sleep. It was the Denver Nuggets, who I believe at the time in the 70s were the defending champions,
In the
played,
ABA.
yeah, in the ABA, they played like best of or something like that. So they played the All-Stars and they won. And Dr. J was on the All-Star team. But anyway, it's just kind of I love like watching some of the old stuff and the classic basketball and think back to the heyday. What I believe is basketball's heyday was just thinking back to when we would come home on Sunday after Sunday school and you get home and Tommy Heinsohn, that
Would
homer for the Celtics,
Yeah.
yeah, would do
See
the
that afternoon game.
afternoon games, man, were the best.
They used to do. So that's the thing with Heinsohn. You always wondered how he could actually be a legitimate analyst when they would play half the games at Boston Garden anyway.
He wasn't legitimate. He was such a homer. He was obnoxious. And we didn't realize it at the time because we didn't really have a big frame of reference. And
Well, it didn't remember the '70s. We didn't
yeah,
realize that he had been a coach in the
exactly.
'70s. He's actually, I think he has gotten in. Has he gotten in 3 times to the Hall of Fame? Like as a
I don't know.
player, as a coach, and an analyst. I don't know if he's gotten in as an analyst, but he's definitely gotten in as a coach and player.
Yeah. Well, let's keep the show moving here. So great memories from the All-Star games past. Not so much from the All-Star games current. And so Sixers starting off the second half here. When do we get back to playing basketball? Is that on Thursday?
I would think it would be Thursday. Do we know
Yeah.
who we're playing?
No, you and I are not well prepared for this segment of the show right now.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you.
but so I do have my concerns. I mean, that game against the Knicks, I mean, granted, maybe they had a lot of people sitting, but they still
Well,
lost by 50 points.
yeah.
They're playing the Hawks on Thursday night in Philly.
Okay, good. Um, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think they needed the break. Hopefully Joel comes back. He missed multiple games
He missed
before.
the Knicks game and he missed the Blazers game.
Yeah, yeah. Is that it? Did he also miss the Lakers game or no?
Well, I know that he played. I thought that he had played in the Suns game, so I can tell you that.
I thought they said he missed three
Now he
games
played. He
point blank.
played for the Lakers. Actually, had 35 points in that game too.
No. All right.
And played
Well, there's
39
that.
minutes. I would like to think that at this point in the season, we're past the damn day offs and we're playing every night. I mean, that's
Yeah.
part of my issue with the league right now. Anyways, is he should be playing every night at this point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he should go home and retire.
Yep. Did you hear Adam Silver say that he would be open to making every draft eligible student athlete eligible as a free agent and get doing away with the draft if it
I
meant
think that would be
if it,
great because
but
the
but you gotta let me finish.
yeah,
If it meant doing away with tanking, he really hates tanking. Did you hear about that?
I didn't, but I support it.
Yeah, yeah. And then I
I,
heard that they may also do a tournament for the teams that didn't make the playoffs to somehow, I don't know how they would do that, but like somehow you would, if you win, you get rewarded by not tank. I don't know, to encourage teams not tanking. So
the NBA has become so lacking. The tanking is destroying the league. Um, when you have the Wizards and you have the Nets and you have the Jazz that are going out there to be putrid, and these pick protections have to stop.
yeah, yeah.
These
You don't
draft
like, you're not a fan of the pick protection.
no, I mean it's destroying the league too. I
Yeah.
mean, the NBA is something I love, but I think the fact is Anthony Davis has played what 30 games this year and is making close to over $50 million. I mean, that's
S-
absurd,
Sounds like a typical Anthony Davis year. That guy never plays.
right? But then don't give him a $50 million contract. And I think the contracts are absurd. And I just think, like, look at the other example right now. With the Olympics and the NHL players are playing right now, and they're putting forth a good product. And the Olympic tournament going on right now for men's hockey is probably the best that it's ever been right now.
Hmm.
And our U.S. men's hockey team has played pretty well,
They
and
have
the
played well.
Canadians are playing well. And I mean, I'm going to give a shout out to the U.S. women's hockey team. They're pretty good as well. So this is a time where ice hockey is shining, and basketball looks horrible.
Well, I also think too, basketball, like it's just become like threes and slam dunks. Like I feel like it for whatever reason, like the mid-range game is been taken out seemingly, and it's just I don't know, like everyone's friends, like it's hard to find rivalries.
Yeah.
I guess you have some teams that fight, and that's kind of cool, but um, it's just like it's just not the same. It's not the same. Like I loved, again, going back to the 90s, like I love that style of play. Like Jordan would get his ass kicked. But those games to me, and you know what? I'm sure purists during that generation were like, "Oh, this isn't basketball. This sucks."
Yeah.
And like even the Kobe years, like, I thought that was great too. Like in the early LeBron James years. But it seems like everyone now is just like buddy buddy and I don't know, the
Everyone
load
grabs one
management.
another
Yeah,
after the
yeah,
game. Everyone hugs, bros it out.
right.
Um, I heard a really good interview. Coach, I mean, Kevin Lockery's got to be what, 84, 85.
Oh, the great Kevin Lockery. Yeah.
Kevin Lockery had coached during his coaching tenure. He coached Doc for the New York Nets in the ABA. Then I believe he coached Dominique Wilkins at the early part of his career. And then at
Hmm.
the end of his career, he coached Michael Jordan. And he said the difference between Michael Jordan and Doc was Michael Jordan would compete against anyone at any
Right.
time and compete. And we're missing that in the NBA right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. I think that's very wise, and that's from someone who's been on the front lines,
Yeah.
who saw that. So yeah,
And he
very,
was
very well
stressing
said.
that the three is destroying the game. And I mean, to me, Joel Embiid should be one of the best inside basketball players in the league. He's
Hmm.
7'1", he's 280. He should not be taking 3-point shots.
Right. But I mean, to that point, he is a 7-footer who, he shoots a pretty decent percentage from three. So, I mean, should he be penalized because of that? What the fuck is going on with this light in here? Hold on one second. Keep going. Keep talking, Mike.
I know.
'Cause-
I mean, I think though that you're taking. I mean, you're negating the fact that this guy has got a presence, a body to be able to post up against the backboard and score at will. This is what Wilt Chamberlain was doing in the '60s. Now, granted, it's a much different game today, but he's a unicorn out there in Embiid.
yeah, right. But that's not the worst thing. I mean, it's kind of cool to have those skills and to not be able to use them because the lev man doesn't want to see 7 foot 200 60 280 pound guys shooting threes. which everyone does nowadays. I mean, all the big guys are shooting
Wembanyama.
threes, right?
Wembanyama is 7'5" shooting threes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what's happening. I know you mentioned the Olympics. Do you want to talk a little Olympics? Because I know you've been into it and following it, and I've been
Well,
watching a lot of Olympics as well.
who's the quad squat the quad god that fell on? I was watching on the shoot. What's the guy's name? The Olympian, the men's favorite in figure skating that he fell twice on Saturday night.
Yeah, that was rough. I watched that. I don't remember his name though.
But he was, I mean, he was, I liked his attitude. He went up to the Kazakhstani guy and he was, and I have a feeling he'll be back. I have a feeling he'll be back. I mean, the Olympics are interesting. And I think were you talking about the sport where they cross country? I saw it. It was crazy.
It's insane. It's completely insane. And then they like ski uphill to finish out. It's crazy. Did
And
you watch
then,
any of this? Did you see that they have like so they have like the luge, right? And then
yeah,
they have the skeleton, which I think
skeleton,
is
which makes the luge look easy.
it's insane. You go head
Yeah,
first basically at 70 miles an hour.
yeah, yeah. No,
That's
I've
crazy.
seen it.
And then
And
they have the bobsled. I think the luge is the single person, and then
right.
the is that right or the mono? I don't know. I was watching it. Yeah, it's just bananas.
I think the winter sports are a little bit better than the summer sports. I've come to realize that because
Yeah,
of the ice and the skate. I it's faster is what it is, and the snowboarding has been pretty cool. And again, the hockey is getting like shafted in that respect.
a
The men's hockey
100% agree.
they have it buried on USA so that if if you're getting a prime time game, the games are at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because it's 9 o'clock in Italy, and so if you're working, more than likely you're going to miss it.
Right.
But the U.S. men's hockey, I mean, this is probably the best that they played in years, probably
Yep.
since that Salt Lake City Olympics. And so Sweden was expected to win today. They were up 3-1 on Latvia. The winner of that Sweden Latvia game, which I assume to be Sweden, will play the U.S. Tomorrow. So it should be U.S. versus Sweden tomorrow.
What time?
I'm thinking that's probably going to be about 3 again.
And again, we're taping on a Tuesday, not a Wednesday, a
Yeah.
Tuesday. Um, so everyone be on the lookout for that tomorrow as
And
our,
you got Canada. I mean, Canada's still,
of
everyone's
course.
Connor
Yeah.
McDavid in Canada is still heads and above, but it's become an interesting rivalry, the US Canada rivalry. And if I think the championship game, because they have the closing ceremonies sort of earlier in the day in Italy, it's going to be in the evening. So I think the game is at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning.
Oh, that's a tough time for a game.
It's a tough time because because remember, I guess it's 6 hours earlier, so that would make it 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And usually the U.S. The hockey is usually the last event of the Olympics.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
so that would be, but I would get up to watch that.
Yeah. Where are the next Winter Olympics? Do you know?
I I know that we have one coming up in Salt Lake City, but I think that
We
that is,
do? Oh,
yeah,
I didn't realize.
another Salt Lake City Olympics.
That's crazy. Salt Lake City is, I mean, they hosted the Olympics like what? Like I feel like 30 years ago, right?
2002, yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been that long. And then LA, of course, will host 2028. But yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I think I love the Olympics. I love watching it. I don't know anything about like a lot of these athletes.
2034. 2030.
2034, there it is. So yeah, it'll be
So,
about 30 years.
yeah.
Um, but I like watching it. I just love the spirit of the games itself. And I agree that the hockey, I haven't seen very much hockey. I love the snowboarding. Like it's so fun to watch that.
Yeah.
Like those guys get so high. It's crazy. Crazy.
And I
Did you
did,
hear that there's a whole lot of fornicating going on in the
there's
Olympic
always
Village?
there's always fornicating, especially when you have a lot of these beautiful women, they actually are they have to fund themselves. They do fans on demand or whatever. Like
What?
they'll yeah,
Hands
like
on demand? What the hell are you talking about?
Well, what are those paid services where they take pictures of themselves for fans? I saw this.
Oh,
Like
is this where you're pretending you don't know about it?
yeah, yeah. There was a German
OnlyFans is what it's called.
OnlyFans. There was a German athlete who was doing that. Um,
While she was in the Olympic Village?
yeah, because that's how she does sponsorship. Because like today on the radio, they were telling some of the jobs that these guys do, men and women. One woman was a barista. The other guy was
Oh,
like works. Who's like a speed skater, is a concession stands guy in the off season. I'm like, they were talking about like how these folks are normal people, and then one of the curlers is actually a dentist. I
I
didn't
believe
know.
that. I mean, like you probably have to be good with your hands to be a curler, right?
Well, you
Maybe
have to be
JT
good with it.
Realmuto, who's the ultimate ball handler, could be a good curler when he retires in, 10 years after getting three more contracts from the Phillies. Maybe that could happen. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, like it's not like you like like as a curler. I mean, is that really your full-time job? No.
It's something I think you could do for a couple hours every night. Can you hold 1 second?
Oh yeah, yeah. Why don't we just
I
hold the
think there's
show
someone
till
at the door.
you go to the bathroom and do what you have to do? I'll just sit here and talk to the legions of fans out there. Finally, the Ross J podcast is upon us, and it's been a hell of a day. A hell of a day, folks. I mentioned I'm feeling a little run down today. Lev keeps interrupting me on the
All
podcast,
right,
but I
I'm
do have
back.
some
I just
electrolytes.
got
There he
Charlotte
is.
at the door. Charlotte was at the door. We were talking curling and the excitement of it all. That like curling is the winter equivalent of pickleball, I think.
I don't know if I'd go quite there. I think pickleball requires more athletic skill and certainly like I don't understand. Like I'm sure there is nuance to curling that I don't know about, but I don't know. It just looks like they're like cleaning the floors all the time. Let's be
It
honest.
it's sort of like I was trying to, I was having this discussion with someone last week. When did it get popular? Was it like 15 years ago that curling started popping up? Because we were like, we thought it was the most absurd sport.
Yeah, it was something like that. Do you know they have pillow fighting on TV on
I
ESPN?
probably on the Ocho.
Hey, maybe on the Ocho, but I saw pillow fighting and I recorded it because I couldn't believe that there's actually such a thing as pillow fighting, competitive
Didn't you
pillow
have
fighting.
like a, don't you have a pillow fighting contest, a gigantic one in the Atlanta area?
Do we? I don't know. I haven't qualified for that just yet. If we do have one, but
Got
I'm
a
ready to go.
got a question for you. Castellanos signing with the Padres. What do you think of that? I know I'm sort of doing a segue into
I love a
baseball.
good segue. I could care less. Look, Castellanos, the Phillies were. I'm glad you're bringing this up because it gives me a chance to go off on a
Isn't
tangent.
it? But aren't we
Lev,
eating 19 million?
yeah, yes, we're eating 19 million, but that's not the worst part of it. The worst part of it is that uh, for whatever reason, um, sorry, there's some weird thing going on my computer. For whatever reason, the Phillies butchered this. Dave Dombrowski absolutely butchered whatever he had planned for uh, you know, with Castellanos. You don't tell someone for a year and a half that, oh, the plan is that we're gonna like you don't let it out that you're gonna release him, that he's no longer of use to you. Because the league sees that and they say, oh well, and then this year Castellanos isn't coming to camp with us. He's not in our long-term plans. And so of course no one's gonna trade you anything for him because he's not such a hot commodity. But there were teams that were interested in signing him. And guess what? They get to sign him for, a six pack and some jelly donuts. Like that's what he got because he's ultimately the Phils are paying his salary and Dombrowski totally again, I'm not saying you could have gotten some high end prospects for Castellanos or that you couldn't got could have gotten much more than sweat socks. Well, you could have gotten something for the guy. And the way that this was handled, just in terms of the communication and just the way that the Phillies have done things with, and Dombrowski telling Bryce he was no longer elite, like, again, and Bryce alluded to this. This is something that should stay inside the clubhouse. And I am so ready for Dave Dombrowski to retire and be done and hand the reins over to Preston Mattingly. Like I am just It is enough with this. And I am, like I said this last week, I am excited because baseball is upon us and the Phil's first spring training game is Sunday. And of course, I love the Phils. I'll watch as many games as I can. But I'm not excited for the season in the sense of like, oh, this is a championship caliber team. I don't see it as such.
I sort of see this as sort of similar to the end of the 2008 when they were bringing back Utley, they were bringing back Rollins at the end of their careers, and they were sort of hoping that Ruben Amaro was sort of hoping they could get a couple more years out of them. When at that point things had already changed, that they were
Right.
past the prime. You couldn't have the legitimate excitement that this team was going to do anything. I think this team might be better than that, though.
Well, it certainly seems like their stars have been producing more recently than that. But look, I mean, it's the same formula. It is have a good regular season, and then the sphincters get too tight in the playoffs, and that's what has been the key for the Phillies. Like you get into uh you get the highest quality pitchers that you're facing in the playoffs, and the Phils can't seem to solve those players. And that's been their MO for the past several years. They had that wonderful run in 2022, which was incredible. And I will always remember that. And then 23, they started to show those patterns. And even in 22, when they lost to the Astros, and remember, they were no hit in that World Series, right? I mean, like, that was insane. They were no hit in a World Series. And then I feel like from there, it has continued to spiral. And all these people that say Castellanos and Mr. October and blah, 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 go check his records, go check his numbers. He wasn't that fantastic. I think he had like a strong postseason initially his first year. And then his numbers have not been that great in the postseason. So get over it. Who cares? Castellanos is gone. It sounds like there was a lot of, we were talking about this on the thread. Seems like there was a lot of back and forth around like what a bad teammate he was. And that was the first I had heard about that. That was a little bit surprising, but it sounds like his teammates and the manager were both not comfortable with him being on the squad.
I had heard that something had happened with Thompson last year.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yep, something did happen. So
It'd be
anyway,
curious. Is this Thompson's last year after this year, too?
yes.
So Thompson is probably going to retire at the end of this year.
Well, he just signed an extension, but I think if the Phils don't get it done, I think it's going to be bye-bye Thompson.
And would
But you
that
know
mean
what?
that Don Mattingly comes in as
You
your
know what it
manager?
is? It's bye-bye 1973. Rev, rev, woo!
That was good. I like that. I like that.
That's it for today, and we hope to see you next week. Woo!